What is up, investors? Welcome back to another episode of Everything Crypto, where we bring you the latest and most important news moving crypto projects, DeFi tutorials, as well as deep dives on projects we see as having huge potential for the future. Now, as always, please remember that nothing on this channel is financial advice, rather my own thoughts, opinions, and research that I have compiled and broken down for viewer education and entertainment purposes only. So please invest responsibly. I love and appreciate you all. And on that note, all you got to do is sit back, relax, grab that Sunday morning cup of joe, and enjoy the show. And on that note, if you do enjoy the content, please consider hitting that sub and like button. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it does mean a whole lot to me. And if you do want to keep up to date on everything that is going on in the crypto markets, as well as the moves we are making in real time, then definitely consider following us on Twitter and in the Telegram channel. Both links are in the description below. Now, before we actually get into the crypto content for today, I just want to show you guys this funny video that I found on Twitter. And this pretty much does sum up what it feels like to be a crypto investor in 2022. So let's just watch this before we hop into it.
It's been really ripe with opportunity, but I think Q4 is going to be even bigger for us. Yeah, Frank, do you have those projections for Q3? Yeah, let me pull them up right here real quick. I'll pull them up at you. Oh, my brakes. Hey, Frank, are you okay, man? Oh, my brakes. Oh, my brakes.
I mean, that pretty much does perfectly sum up what it feels like to be a crypto investor in 2022. You are just moving downhill with no brakes in sight. But yeah, I just think that's a friendly reminder that, you know what, everyone is going through this right now, and it is definitely important to, you know, maybe just pace yourself so you don't need to slam the brakes like that poor guy. But anyways, let's move on to the actual crypto content now. And for starters here, we're going to take a look at the total crypto market cap, which is sitting right now at just 1.27 trillion. We actually have held up pretty decently at this $1.2 trillion level, which is a very, very strong level of support. However, I would not be surprised at all to see us come back and retest this $1 trillion level. And we are still below all moving averages, as well as this uptrend, which we did break, I mean, like quite a while back. We broke this uptrend actually on the 5th of May. And yeah, it's going to take a lot of work to get back up here. So I would definitely not be surprised to see some more sideways consolidation or another move to the downside. Now, looking at the fear and greed index, let's actually refresh this. Now, you can see that right now we are sitting at a 14, okay? So if we look at the max, we generally do say on the channel anywhere in this 13 range is a pretty good time to be buying. And while that does still hold true, just keep in mind that we're not really buying like aggressively at these levels, as I do think that this will be a sustained period of fear. And we actually broke to, I believe, an all-time low on the fear and greed index. I think we were at like a 5 or a 4 at some point this week. Like, it was something ridiculously low. So sentiment is very low across the board. It is a very, very good time to be buying, but we definitely do want to pace ourselves, as I think in times like this, cash is absolutely king. And then moving on to just like a nice market wrap update here, you can see that Bitcoin pretty much was trading in a choppy range over the past week, as volatility did continue to tick higher. And on Friday, the S&P actually briefly fell into bear market territory, as it was down over 20% from its record high. And I mean, this is definitely something that I will be watching next week, okay, as the NASDAQ has already toppled over, but the S&P was actually holding up pretty decently well in the recent weeks. But just now, as of this week, the S&P has officially cracked that bear market territory, and we're pretty much one red day away from the S&P being in that bear market territory. And the reason this does matter is because if we actually look at Bitcoin and the S&P together, Bitcoin and the S&P actually have a very, very strong correlation with each other. So if the S&P does actually break into this bear market territory, then it would be reasonable that Bitcoin will also follow lower. So that is definitely something that we are going to be keeping an eye on for this upcoming week. Now, moving on to the crypto-specific news, and we're going to start off here with court documents revealing that KWON dissolved the Terraform Labs Korea days before the Luna crash. And he did actually come out and claim that this was some sort of a coincidence and this was not intentional. But to be honest, I call BS. Something stinks about that. I think that when stuff like this happens, especially from these higher up elites who just happen to completely dissolve Terraform Labs before Luna crashed 99.99%, I don't buy that at all. And I do think that, while I never tell anyone what to do with their money, what to invest in, I think that this is just a matter of fool me once, shame on you, or fool me twice, shame on me, okay? And the fact that people are trying to push his Terra revival plan and say that, Terra is going to come back to the greatness that it was at before, I personally don't buy it. And even if it does, I would not be investing my money, with someone who treats their holders like this. So that's just my 2 cents on that whole situation. And we can also see here that as of Saturday, May 7th, 2022, the Luna Foundation Guard held a reserve consisting of the following assets. So look at this. They had 80,000 Bitcoin. They had, just under 2 million AVAX and 1.7 Luna. And let's take a look at what they have as of now. So this was of May 16th. They went all the way down from 80,000 Bitcoin to 313 Bitcoin. And I do want to keep in mind here that they actually hold the exact same amount of AVAX. They still have this just under 2 million in AVAX. And that is definitely something that I'm actually keeping an eye on as an AVAX holder. The fact that they still have their AVAX and that they could also potentially dump that at any given moment is definitely something that I am aware of, something that we will be keeping an eye on. And they actually still have the same balance of AVAX there at 1.97 million. So that's definitely something I'm going to be looking at. And if you are an AVAX holder, you definitely should as well. And now we also saw here at the permissionless conference that Ethereum researcher says ETH merge may happen as early as August. I would love to believe this. I've heard this multiple times. There have definitely been, big delays in the past. I would like to see it before August. And the man himself, Vitalik Buterin, does confirm that the merge could happen in August, but he does also acknowledge that there is a risk of a delay. He says here that the highly anticipated proof of stake merge is scheduled to go live on Ethereum's testnet Ropsten in 18 days. Buterin explained that the transition will be a major test for the entire Ethereum ecosystem, larger than any tests that have been done before, taking a large existing test network with many applications with proof of work, moving into proof of stake. So you guys can see exactly why this is such a complex matter, as we are moving over Ethereum and everything running on this blockchain that has relied on a proof of work consensus over to proof of stake now. So furthermore, he did confirm the merge may be implemented in August. However, he also alluded that there could be delays, saying that basically if there are no problems, the merge will happen in August. But of course, there is always a risk of problems. There is also a risk of delays. So September is possible, October is possible as well. And just a couple months ago, we were hearing that the merge would not come until early 2023. So they actually did push this up to late 2022. Honestly, I want more time to buy some ETH, but we've definitely been waiting for this merge for quite a while, so I would not mind actually seeing that at the end of 2022. Meanwhile, the merge is the first of Ethereum's major upgrades following the London upgrade implementing ETH's burn mechanism. Following the merge, Ethereum will implement the Surge, the Verge, the Purge, and the Splurge. Okay, so basically we're going to explain these steps, and basically the Surge aims to help improve scaling by leveraging zero-knowledge rollups via sharding techniques. The Verge transition will apply Verkle trees in order to achieve statelessness by using the Merkle proof upgrade. The Purge will add an EVM simplification track and eliminate historical data and technical debt according to the Ethereum roadmap. And finally, the Splurge revolves around miscellaneous but important extras. And then this chart kind of here just breaks down exactly what all of these different phases do and their importance, as well as what they have already done and their longer term goals for each of these phases. So definitely an interesting read. I will leave this in the comment down below if you guys want to look at it for yourself, in the description rather, sorry. Now, in another piece of news, we see that Swift partnered with CAPGEMINI to allow seamless crypto cross-border payments. So now Swift themselves is trying to explore the possibility of interlinking domestic and international CBDCs, allowing for the seamless cross-border payments of digital currencies. Now, you may think that this does sound like a bearish piece of news for XRP, who is obviously a direct competitor to Swift, but I actually did find in a separate article here that CAPGEMINI does have connections to XRP themselves. As not long ago, back in October of 2021, they did do a report in Business Insider India speaking about Ripple, saying that nearly half the world will be using cryptocurrencies to send money in the next 2 years, a revolution led by remittances. Companies like Ripple and XRP, this is a quote, companies like XRP and Ripple Protocol are already being touted as the next phase of transformation in the global remittance service market. Platforms like Ripple have the potential to reduce settlement times from days to seconds and provide savings, noted global financial services behemoth Credit Suisse. Evidence of this was already seen during the pandemic, as the Asian Development Bank, the use of services like Ripple, Mobile Money, and Bcash helped deliver faster settlement, greater operational efficiencies, and more competitive foreign exchange rates during the COVID-19 pandemic. So there is a quote right here about how companies like Ripple and XRP are basically being touted as the next phase of transformation in this global remittance service market. This is absolutely something that we do believe. On this channel, this is a big reason that we have been buying XRP, as I do believe that it will fully replace Swift technology. And I did just think it was interesting that Swift actually partnered up with CAPGEMINI, who has actually also mentioned interest in XRP and Ripple in the past. And this does lead me to believe that maybe instead of XRP or Ripple just completely replacing Swift, Swift might kind of see the inevitable doom, and they might actually try and get behind Ripple and XRP or partner with them. But either way, this would bode very well for XRP, as it essentially will still replace Swift as a technology that financial institutions basically use to swap money on a global scale. So definitely something that we are looking forward to, and definitely keeping an eye on this now. If maybe, Swift kind of takes the, if you can't beat them, then you got to join them sort of stance, and they actually try to get behind Ripple and XRP. That would be very, very interesting. Now, in the last piece of news, this is actually coming from Hbar, and we have not talked about this project in a while. I'm definitely going to start making some more dedicated videos to Hbar, or rather, that is the plan, because this is a project that I honestly just see immense value in. I have been loading the boat on these prices, and I will continue to load if this actually does go lower. It is now a top 3 position in the portfolio, or top 4, but I would easily make this like my first or second largest holding. Like, I am very, very bullish on this project, and I gotta say, one thing I love about this team behind Hbar is the fact that they do not focus on hype, and their PR honestly sucks. Their advertising sucks, which sometimes does get a little frustrating, but that is because their team is much more focused on creating a solid project for the future, and that is something that I really love and respect about this team. So we're going to talk about it more in a future video, but basically they announced here that they did this upgrade enabling the support of wallets like Metamask, okay, libraries such as Ether.js and Web3.js, and developer tools such as Truffle and Hardhat. And this new upgrade here will provide streamlined ways to build and deploy on Hbar for existing devs, as well as familiarity for new developers by enabling access to the most ubiquitous EVM-based libraries, tools, and workflows. And basically what they're saying here is that the Hbar network can now be added to MetaMask, which will allow not only people to send Hbar and tokens on the Hbar mainnet, but also to interact with Ethereum dApps by calling smart contracts deployed on Hbar. So Ethereum dApps can easily support Hbar. Now that is huge. That opens up a huge potential market to Hbar, and I really do remain bullish on this project. Also because if we actually take a look at DeFi Llama, you guys will notice that Hbar is like in its beginning phases of DeFi growth. And so we can go here to chains, and we're gonna have to scroll all the way down. I believe Hbar is in like 30 something last time I checked. 48th place Hbar is in, and that is only because they have one program right now, which is Stater, which by the way we are using to earn a juicy 48% yield on our Hbar. But yeah, like this is in its infancy stages, guys, and in my opinion, this has a lot of potential for the future. And now we actually see that Hbar DeFi is going to be opened up to pretty much any Ethereum decentralized application, and I think this is a huge piece of news that should not be looked over. So on that note, I hope you guys did enjoy this weekly market update. As always, we will be back in a couple of hours with the Cronos weekly update. I hope you guys are all having a peaceful and restful Sunday. Happy long weekend. Catch you guys soon.